Arsenal vs West Ham Live, latest Premier League update. Arsenal host West Ham United on Wednesday night in a key fixture among the race for European spots. The Hammers head into the game in fourth, with the Gunners just 2 places and 2 points behind, but with Mikel Arteta's team also hit by off-field distractions this week, with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang stripped of the captaincy and excluded from the squad after a disciplinary breach. The boss must now appoint a new skipper, and he's clear about the traits that person needs and where Aubameyang fell short. We believe that he has failed to be committed at the level that we all expect and agreed, as simple as that, Arteta said. What I expect from any person in this football club is passion, and that he gives absolutely 100%, that he puts the club in front of any personal interests and is able to do anything to fulfill the badge we have on the chest. For the Hammers, it's a chance to open up a gap down to Manchester United in 5th, but Arsenal can go 4th with a win of their own. Follow all the team news and live updates from Arsenal vs West Ham below. Mikel Arteta names an unchanged team to the one that started against Southampton at the weekend. Gabriel Martinelli and Alexander Lacazette lead the line with Emile Smith-Rowe starting on the bench. David Moyes meanwhile makes just one change to the West Ham starting side. Pablo Fornals returns as Said Benrahma drops to the bench. Arsenal's Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Lacazette. West Ham's Fabianski, Kufel, Dawson, Diop, Masuaku, Rice, Soucek, Fornals, Lanzini, Bowen, Antonio. When Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang traipsed on for the final 5 minutes against Everton, with the frown of a man parachuted barefoot into a field of thorns, it didn't require any great oracle to decipher what would happen next. And so, when Mikel Arteta ceremonially kicked off Arsenal's weekend by publicly ostracizing his captain for a disciplinary breach, any semblance of shock was at best subdued. After all, there has always been something of a doom cycle between Arteta and Aubameyang, a friction that grates during periods of bad form and culminates in one of Arteta's schoolmeisterish citations. It played out to a familiar tune in March, when Aubameyang was dropped for the North London derby, and it kept to much the same rhythm this weekend as Arsenal coasted past Southampton. The captain was dropped after a disciplinary breach, but it can't be said that Arsenal missed him. Mikel Arteta says he stripped Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of the Arsenal captaincy to defend the interests of the club. The Gunners released a statement earlier this week announcing that Aubameyang, 32, had been removed as captain following his latest disciplinary breach. The statement also said Aubameyang will not be considered for Wednesday's game against West Ham. "We have made this decision, that unfortunately is a really tough one," said Arteta. "If I had to choose, I wouldn't like to be sitting here talking about it, but we had to do it. When we have to make that decision, it's because it's the right one to defend the interests of the football club." Arsenal have won 10 of their last 11 home league games against West Ham, and the Hammers have triumphed in just 2 of the last 28 meetings in all competitions. West Ham's tally of 32 Premier League defeats in this fixture is a club record against a single opponent. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have hit a stumbling block after a run of 8 Premier League fixtures without defeat. Since their 4-0 loss to Liverpool on 20 November, they have won 2 and lost 2 of their 4 league matches. Last time out, they comfortably defeated Southampton 3-0 at the Emirates, and Mikel Arteta will be hoping for a repeat performance from his players tonight. If they win, the Gunners will move ahead of West Ham and claim a spot in the top 4. West Ham have also lost a bit of their early momentum in recent weeks. Back-to-back defeats to Wolves and Manchester City were followed with a 1-1 draw at home to Brighton. They got back to winning ways with a great 3-2 victory over Chelsea at the start of December, but last time out were held to a 0-0 draw against Burnley. David Moyes will be hoping to pick up all 3 points this evening against a top 4 rival and show just how far his team has come this season. The Premier League have issued new COVID guidance for fans to follow when attending top-flight matches. This comes amid the new Omicron variant taking a hold in the UK, with the government bringing in so-called Plan B measures to tackle the virus. Outbreaks have already affected league clubs, with Manchester United's match against Brentford off and Tottenham's fixture with Rennes postponed, as well as this evening's Premier League game between Burnley and Watford. COVID has impacted Premier League clubs with outbreaks recently. Arsenal forward Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is not being considered for selection for tonight's match against West Ham after he was stripped of the captaincy by manager Mikel Arteta. Bernd Leno and Sead Kolasinac are also unavailable for the Gunners, but there's good news for David Moyes' West Ham, as Aaron Cresswell is back in contention after a 4-game absence due to a lower back issue. West Ham boss David Moyes admits he is perplexed at some of the criticism Mikel Arteta has endured during his 2 years in charge of Arsenal. Arteta, who played under Moyes at Everton, won the FA Cup and Community Shield within months of taking the reins at the Emirates Stadium, but presided over an underwhelming 8th-placed finish last season. They were rock bottom of the Premier League after 3 games this term before an upturn in fortunes that has put them 2 points behind West Ham and 4th ahead of their showdown in North London on Wednesday evening. Arteta is back under the microscope following his decision to strip Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of the Arsenal captaincy, but while Moyes would not be drawn on the news, the Scot is incredulous at some of the barracking his former midfielder has had to contend with. Moyes said, "It was incredible. Mikel won a couple of trophies. I thought he started his career really well with an FA Cup and Charity Shield, not a bad start to your managerial career. He's having to readjust, change things around, get it the way he wants it, and he's in that process. He has a good team at the moment, they've bought some good young players. I didn't quite agree with a lot of the criticism that was about Arsenal." Full report, Arsenal manager Arteta played under Moyes at Everton.